Welcome back on this glorious, glorious day. It is Minnesota. It's spring. Tomorrow's St. Paddy's Day, and it's like 50 degrees. So we got it warming up in here. If you recall, we still had to do the bolts in these corners. Just wanted to let this sit and do any expanding it was going to do before we drill these holes. So I've got a 3/16 drill bit. I'm going to drill all those down and then drive these big buggers down in there, and then this isn't going anywhere. And after that, I think we'll back her up and look at packing those front wheel bearings. We've been avoiding it for a while, and it's about as nice out as it's getting. Well, that's not very fun. 3/16. That's pretty snug. Driving this in, and remember they're Phillips, so you got to be very careful not to chew that up or to break it, or because Phillips came out to be pushing too hard and have it slide out and hit the wood. You'd hate to screw this up at this stage. Okay, and that is the show deck. It only took us a couple years to install, but same with the other one too. But when you're trying to do all this staining and normalize out the boards and everything in Minnesota in the winter, it takes some time. But there, that looks great. So let's hide it. Okay, she's back on the lift. Got the front tires skinned. Getting ready to pull the front calipers, caliper bracket. Actually, I don't think we have to pull the bracket on these, just calipers. And then we pop off the hub covers, pull the cotter pin, loosen it all out, pull it apart, pull the rotor off, and then we can clean and inspect our bearings and see if we're happy with them. It's just at this point, we've changed so much, might as well do that too. Okay, so we got a caliper hung, and I gave them the slide pins, and I'm getting ready to go ahead and pull that hub cap. And really, the best way to do all of this mess, unfortunately, is you're gonna get gross. That works the best. Okay, so got the hub off. Take your time. You distort it. You get to buy a new one. You know, the dust cap. And now we're straightening out our pin. Gonna pop her out. We were surprised to see that the grease was already updated in here. So who knows? Maybe we did this 10 years ago. It's hard to remember. But now I'll get a pair of channel locks, and we'll pull that, and I will show you the stack up on this. So here's our rotor. This is the rear dust seal. The rear bearing is sitting here. That rides right here. Here's our front taper roller bearing. And you can see that rides right here. And then against the race on the inside on the other side there. And then this is the thrust washer that kind of protects it. And then this is our preload nut. So, no, it's nothing real fancy here. We're actually, now that we've got this apart, thinking this was done not that many miles ago, and I think we just have to relash it. So I'll throw a little more grease in the front ones, but yeah, I think this is more of an inspection than anything else. So we're not going to pull this dust seal, and you know, why buy a new one if we don't have to? So, you know, it's just with all this front end work, we wanted to check, and obviously we've already been in here. It just don't remember. Getting too old. Okay, and he is cleaning up the pins. And just checked all this. It looks pretty good. And then the way I like to do these is drive it in, set the bearing pretty good. You know, normally with my other hand I'm turning it as I do this until you start to feel the friction. So as it's turning, you'll start to hear and feel, like right there, it suddenly got real tight and it just got real difficult to turn. So now I'm just going to back it off because now the bearing is set. And look at that, no play. All right, so she's back on the ground. We have torqued down the front lug nuts. I don't know if the back ones are torqued. I guess we're going to have to deal with that, but I know he's got two that he's still waiting to replace. Four, okay, because they're a weird size and hard to come by, and nobody seems to be able to get anything in stock. So yeah, it took us a little while to remember why this was even over here, but it was because he was going to clean the underside and do a little painting. And of course then we found some steering things, and we're like, hey, we might as well finish the bed. You know, found that leak on the carb, You know, yeah, just all kinds of little things. So I don't know that there's anything more on the truck we're doing tonight. So this may be the end of this video. If it is, thanks for watching. If it isn't, well, then we're about to do something else. Always pay attention to what you're doing and where you can and can't fit. Sometimes you need a friend.